Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the next episode of 911 Season 2. Yes, I'm wearing a Christmas jumper. No, it's not December. I think for YouTube, it might be December or January when this goes out. For Patreon, I think it's like November. For me, it's like the 2nd of November at the moment. So it's just a nice cozy jumper. And now Halloween's out of the way, it's kind of acceptable to wear Christmas stuff, right? Right, maybe. We'll see. Anyway, last episode 911 was called Ocean's 911, which to me, I said it last time and I've had a bit of time to think about it again. It wasn't my favourite episode of the show. It was fun, and it was like a fun bank robbery whodunit kind of story, and there was various twists which kept it interesting. But like I said in the last episode, for me what it was really missing was a lot of character development and things with our main characters. And it is okay to have episodes now and again that don't have that. But because it didn't have character stuff, and it didn't have the multiple different kind of calls and things that they have throughout the episode, where there's like a robbery and a fire and a kidnapping and an assault and all these different things that they tend to go and help. It was just the one story. It was just fun, but ultimately not my favourite episode of the season by a long shot. But it was good. I enjoyed it, so I hope that came through, that I was having a good time. I just missed the character stuff, which I think this episode's going to bring. So this episode is episode 16, and it's called Bobby Begins Again. Now, in season 1, sorry, hit my microphone, sorry about that. In season 1, we had the first episode about Bobby. Now, it wasn't called Bobby Begins, it was called Point of Origin, I believe. Is it only season 2 they started the Begins episodes? I think. Because we've had Hen and maybe Bobby. Did we have another one? I don't think we did. I don't think we've had an Athena one or a book one. So I think this is the second one. No, we've had Chimney. Sorry, we had Chimney as well. So I think it's only season 2. So we had the backstory in season 1, which if it was in season 2, they would have called it Something Begins, I guess. And that was about how Bobby was addicted to alcohol and drugs. I looked into it. It was oxycodone, I think, or something like that. Or something to that degree anyway. And he fell asleep in that building with a space heater on. It set a fire, the building burnt down, killed his family, and he managed to escape. And so that was all about that. And now this one's Bobby Begins Again. But now that we know his backstory, I don't really know what we're going to see. But I guess it's going to focus on the end of the last episode, where the dude came into Bobby's apartment when he was with Athena and basically said he's been dismissed. And I'm not really too sure what it all meant, or whether we're not meant to know till this episode where we find out. Let's jump into it to find out, because I don't really know myself, to be quite honest. If you enjoyed the video, please let me know down below in the comments what you're thinking of the reactions to 911 Season 2, as we're fastly approaching the finale, because I've only got 2 more after this to watch, and we finish Season 2, and then we'll move on to Series 3. And there's a Patreon link in the description box down below if you want to watch the full length reaction to this episode, as well as the next couple in advance. Let's jump into 911 Season 2, Episode 16, Bobby Begins Again. Okay, looks like an interview room. Kind of looks like a prison.
Please state your name for the record.
Bobby.
Robert Wade Nash.
I can't see! God, please,
Oh, please don't. Oh, please don't make us relive this thing. I don't want to relive this. This was traumatic.
Marcy! Sir, that's my wife. You gotta let me through. That's my wife. No, let me through.
Oh,
Let
no.
me through. That's my wife, sir. Marcy!
Oh no.
Phil! Here we go. Bobby, she's breathing. She's alive. Now go with her. Bobby, Marcy's alive.
God.
Now stay with her. Go. Get in. Get in. Focus on Marcy, Bobby.
What's gonna be the worst thing is not just the fact that you just realise your kid's there but being thrown away from them. Oh, how awful. Every time we hear about this, I always feel really bad for Bobby.
Kids are fine.
Yeah.
They're safe.
You come save us.
Marcy!
That's awful. I don't like this.
Dear Lord, thank you for another day full of love and family. Thank you for this food. Keep us all safe. Amen.
If this is what I think kids.
You ready? Give you some pasta?
See, this is before they died, because I'm sure it was an apartment.
How are we gonna do this?
Or dying.
Captain Nash, can you hear me? Why? Why did you bring me back? I was there with them. Why? Relax, sir.
Christ.
Get him out of here. Let him out. And keep his name off the damn radio.
I mean, I can't see this dude, right? For those who know Buffy and Angel, I cannot see this dude ever without seeing not just D'Hoffrin, but more so the dude from Angel, where his limbs all come off and his hands come off and they crawl around.
I confess because 148 people died in their film.
You were drunk and high and left the space heater on unattended, and it overheated. Then the circuit breaker didn't trip. The water supply failed to supply water. Building alarms with dead batteries and no electrical backup. Dozens of code violations that were overlooked.
So it
I
wasn't
missed
just
them
his
too when I
fault.
lived there. 148 names. Those are lives that I owe to balance the books, and I can't do that riding the desk. I'm ready.
Great. You are.
Put your
It's
team
gonna
on.
take a while for any of these guys to feel comfortable walking through fire with you watching their back.
I know, but they're
Alright,
never
then
gonna
transfer
get there unless you give
I
them a
don't care where.
chance to start.
Bobby, what's really going on?
I need to atone for what I've done in my own way, and if you won't let me do that here, then send me someplace that will.
Hen! Woohoo! Sorry, I just love Hen.
$100 pays out. What's your over under? I got 6 weeks. Give me 4 on credit.
Oh, the episode about Hen and her past was so sad
Boy, I'm gonna eat your
and
lunch. Better
frustrating.
pay up because I know the bookie and she's a mad woman. Sal, you in?
I'm glad that everyone's now
Tops, guys from like
friends with her.
Nebraska.
As they should be.
Whatever.
You're also out of half the supplies that should be stocked in this truck. So, give me the odds on lasting longer than one or all of you. Briefing in 5.
That's the way to make an impact.
I've got 20 on the Viking.
Oh god. That's not just a reaction, that's something awful.
Can you tell us what happened?
Maurice, we're crazy.
Maurice.
Okay, we're gonna patch you up and get you out of here. The police
Friend?
are on the way.
Please, no.
Partner? Family? Pet?
Oh, there he is!
Chicken!
He's coming!
Oh, cockerel.
I guess that's Maurice.
A cockfighting ring? That's what we're doing back here.
He's probably gonna save the day.
Okay.
It's cute. Just they're all like,
You're okay. I got you. All right, buddy. You're okay.
LAPD.
No wonder he was
Sergeant
acting out.
Grant.
Hey!
About a stabbing, unknown assailant.
Well, actually, his name is
It's
Maurice.
their first time they met.
Don't worry, he's been disarmed. Go easy on him, Sergeant. He's had a rough day.
Who would have known at the time?
And Father, there aren't enough candles in this church for the people that I hurt.
I don't like this.
But I made a promise, and I've got a plan. It's a way to make things right. And until then,
Sorry if you heard that, that was
get
my
the
shoulder
act.
cracking.
I don't get to forget. And for a moment, I did.
He's really torturing himself and it's
Some
not
good
pleasant
work
to
by the
watch.
people.
In my experience, there's only been one person who was good at multitasking from across.
Yes.
He saved
I don't know
everything
how you would ever
from
forgive
that.
yourself, but you have to. You have to
You
move
wanna help
on
people?
and do the best.
Take this back.
And help people and live
Learn it again.
for the people that you hurt. Oh, I've seen her in
How are we looking?
something before. And him, he was in,
That good, huh?
what was that show called that I watched years ago?
Last month, which was
Worse than the month
Warehouse
before that.
13, I think it was called.
gonna be okay. We'll figure it out.
2384 Fair Avenue. I think my son went back in for his laptop. I accidentally left it there. Victor! My husband just ran after him. Please hurry!
So the place went down, but the question is, was it an accident? Or was it because they were talking about having money problems? You hear about these things where they burn the place down themselves to get the insurance money. You can do this, Abby, come on. Nice.
It's gonna be okay. I promise. Found him hiding in the bathroom. Smart kid. Probably saved his own life with that move.
Well, I'm glad somebody was thinking tonight. You might want to watch your tone there, DeLuca.
Why? Because you're my captain? You're not.
Don't be a dick.
You're just the latest jackhole in a long line of jackholes that come in this house and think they know how to run it.
Oh, you think you know how to run it? We just got lucky.
That wasn't luck, man. That was skill. The kind of skill it takes to save lives, to lead this house.
But definitely not the temperament.
Yeah,
Okay,
calm down.
okay, enough. Look, we get it, Fredo. You got passed over. Now let it go and say you're sorry.
You want me to apologize to this mook? Never gonna happen.
Calm down, Beyonce.
You're gonna learn to respect the chain of command, DeLuca, or you're not gonna work here anymore.
Screw you.
Absolutely.
Now, I guess
Fired.
I got my answer. You were relieved of duty.
Pop off.
You're firing me?
Pack your
Yes.
stuff. Get out.
I'm a manager where I work. And if someone talks to me like that, no. No, I don't have the right to fire people, not that high up, but I would be able to at least start the process, I would hope. If anyone talked to me like that, you'd be like, excuse me, bitch. You don't ever talk to me like that.
Okay, Wilson, what do you want to talk about?
Hen. Everybody calls me Hen. Not to be confused with Han, who everybody around here calls Chimney.
Chimney, why?
You should ask him.
Why? I want to know.
Fired the other
Do we ever
day.
find out?
We used to call him Sal,
He nearly got us killed,
but he didn't. Everybody lived.
which is why I would have given him a second chance.
He was a
didn't want
dick.
one, at least not from me. Maybe you'll have better luck at the 122.
You fired him.
Yeah, from this house. Then I called Chief Alonso and I suggested a suspension and transfer would be best for everyone.
That's gracious.
Yeah, something like
I
that.
think
Like
it is fair.
suspension or just a
I do try
warning.
to be. Hopefully you'll learn that as you get to know me.
Listen, tomorrow night, some of us are going out for drinks. You should join us.
Yay.
I don't know.
Didn't expect to see you here, Cap.
That guy's really handsome. He's got like a really good jaw. Wish I had a jaw like that.
What can I get for you?
Like a nice bone
Folks,
structure.
please, and another round of whatever they're having. Thank you. Drinks are on me tonight.
All right, make some room. Come on, Cap's here. Cap's here.
Take it off, take it off, take it
Factory
off, take it off.
Caught a piece of shrapnel this big.
Oh, I'm not looking at the scar, baby. That's really creepy. I'm so
I
sorry.
am thus far unscarred, and I fully intend to remain that way. Besides, I find this whole ritual a pale insult.
Chimney,
to the
no.
great Ro-
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
Source of the fire, as it turned out.
I don't want to die without any scars.
You still upset about the rooster?
What you doing here, Captain?
Just following a hunch, I guess. You?
Same.
Hunch.
Laying in bed trying to sleep, and then I started thinking.
Oh, look at these two.
When it rains, it pours. But not in here. See, sprinkler system never went off. And the wife said it was serviced just last month.
And the police are waiting for you.
Sir,
Oh, he knows.
can we talk?
Something wrong, Sergeant?
Oh no.
Anxious to get him home.
Right in front of the family.
What did you do?
You didn't do anything.
Yes, I did. I set the fire. Every month, we went deeper into the hole. We were gonna lose everything. I just thought a
I get it though.
big check from
It's
the
not right.
insurance company would give us another shot.
Sir,
It happens a
I'm gonna take
lot.
you into custody.
He's not a criminal, Freddy.
Freddy, it's all right.
No, don't you touch me. You said everything was gonna be okay. You lied.
Freddie, stop. Stop.
Not his
okay?
fault.
I have to go with him. No. I have
Absolutely not his fault.
I love you both.
But he's hurting as well, so he's lashing out.
You're supposed to save people. Enough. You're supposed to save them.
And he did. But he also set the fire. The dad set the fire. So...
I want everybody upstairs ASAP. Come on.
What do you think that's about?
I'm just hoping I'm not the one who gets fired this time.
No, you're making food for everybody. It's so cute.
What's going on?
A little something I like to call dinner. Take a seat. It's been a while. I'm a little rusty, so you'll have to forgive me if not everything is exactly perfect.
If that tastes as good as it smells, I'll forgive you for it.
Honestly, food is such a good way to bring people together. Such a good way. Everyone likes to
Starting a new
eat.
tradition. We here at the 118 work together. We eat together. Every shift.
Family dinner. I'm in.
Hi,
Hey, sexy.
Evan Buckley, new recruit. I was told to report to Captain Nash.
So to report to Captain Nash.
You know Captain Nash? You? You? Take a seat, Evan. As of this morning, pending further investigation, I am officially suspended from my duties here at the 118.
What? Why? That's
Why?
insane. Suspended for what?
For not disclosing what happened in Minnesota before I took the job.
Oh.
Minnesota. That's old news.
No, not to them. And if they knew all the details, there's a very good chance they never would have hired me.
Cap, you don't owe them that part of you. You owe them your record.
All the people you've helped.
The lives you've saved.
Well, I knew the truth would catch up to me one day. I just figured by the time it did, it wouldn't matter.
Captain Nash, the duty of this panel is to make a recommendation as to whether or not you should remain a member of the Los Angeles Fire Department. And anything you say to us will be used in making this determination.
I understand. I just want to tell the truth.
Okay. Wow, okay. Okay, guys, that was my reaction to Bobby Begins Again, Season 2, Episode 16 of 911. And that was an interesting one because we'd seen Bobby's backstory, at least parts of it before, back in Season 1, about the whole the apartment building burning down with his family in. I wasn't sure what was going to happen this time. Sorry, my back is really itchy all of a sudden. Yeah, I wasn't sure what was going to happen, what I was going to focus on. And then when we started with the fire, I was like, oh, God, so emotional. And thought that maybe he's going to focus then on his journey becoming, like, getting over his addiction and dealing with the loss of his family, which it did. But also, I'm glad it kind of skipped some of the time thereafter where he was really struggling, and it showed him, obviously, he got to the point where he drank himself a lot like to death, but they brought him back. And then it was that we kind of jumped off from the start of his recovery, which I liked because it's so hard to watch people who are grieving, struggling, and in the middle of an addiction, especially when they're dealing with those kind of things as well. Like, I had the addiction, that was bad enough, but my addiction caused the death of my family. So that was tough to watch. I'm glad we got to skip some of the hard part. And then we got to see him going to meetings and trying to forgive himself and finding getting given the little black book that we now know as where he writes all the names of the people that he saves, and was trying to balance the books for the people that his lives he hurt and lives he took. And then it was really good because I like how the Begins Again episodes focus on how the people not only became like firefighters or police officers, whatever, which I presume we'll do when we get like an Athena one and whatnot, but it's more so as well how they became part of the 118. So Bobby got transferred to different stations because of what happened and because of the OD and stuff, because the team couldn't really get behind him because of what happened, and so he got given a new team. And it's kind of cool piecing together who joined when. Obviously we know some of it from when we watched the Hen episode. Bobby wasn't there and Buck wasn't there, but it's cool to see, okay, Bobby came next, Hen was already part of the team, and at that point she was well accepted with the team, people liked her, they were friendly with her, and Chimney as well. And then Bobby came, and then at the end of the episode, Buck joined, so it's cool to see the things lining up of who joined first and how they all got to meet each other. Like the little bit when they were went to the cockfighting place and the guy was injured because that cock was going crazy. Athena was the one that actually turned up to be the police officer at the scene. Obviously that's the first meeting between her and Bobby, and it was such a inconsequential meeting. They were just like, hey, I'm this person, here's a cockerel, see you in a bit. It was just like a nothing meeting, but then it kind of showed a little thing later on when they both had the same idea about the fire, which I'll talk about in a minute. And it's like, oh, these are the meeting of the two people that we know and love as like a really nice couple. And I love Athena and Bobby as a couple. I think they're really strong characters. Athena, more vocal than Bobby, but they're such great characters in the show and such strong people with their jobs, and they're both important at their jobs and good at what they do. But then there's such love between the two, and how they quite, even that moment when they both were at the restaurant, it didn't really hint at much, but maybe because we know how it turns out, it was just nice to see they had very similar mindsets and things like that. But that was really nice to see. And in terms of the fire story, I kind of figured when we'd seen that the restaurant guy and his wife had said, oh, like, we're struggling for money and things will pick up, I'm sure. And then the place burnt down. I was like, okay, someone's burnt this down on purpose. And it kind of didn't say anything for a while, but I did assume there was going to be some sort of twist where I thought it was going to be the kid that did it because he was there while they were talking about it in the background, and he's the one that's, I guess, the less obvious choice of the three. But obviously it just turned out it was the dad that had done it. But it's difficult because I've never had a business, but I can only imagine when you've got a business that your family and your life depends on, when it's not doing as well, you panic, and things are scary, and you see it in TV shows, movies, and in the news that people do burn down properties, restaurants, companies, things like that, when times are tough to get the insurance money. But unfortunately, more often than not, they don't know the system enough, fire enough, and all these things enough that they can't get away with it. This guy, what did they say? There was two things. The sprinklers hadn't gone off because he disabled them to make sure the place burnt down, which was silly. But also, there's something to do with it was meant to be an electrical fire, but there was a thing with the electric hadn't broken, something like that. So it just kind of came clear between Bobby and Athena that he'd done it himself, and he had, and you could see in his face when they got to hospital, he knew. And it was really Bobby is a hard character, right? Because hard's not the right term to use. Bobby's a tough character to watch because he beats himself up so much, particularly back in the flashbacks than he does so in the modern times. He beats himself up so much for things that, yes, some of it was his fault, but beating yourself up and living in guilt and punishing yourself doesn't resolve anything. It doesn't improve any situation, it doesn't resolve anything, it doesn't make anyone's life any better, it actually makes things worse. And the best thing he can do for his family is obviously become sober again, but also go out and do what he's doing now, which is being a good fire person. So like when the kid at the hospital was like, you're meant to protect us, you promised things weren't going to be bad, all these things. I understand from the child's point of view. It's one of those things when you side with a character, when you like a character, you want to defend him, and I want to defend him being like, he didn't do this on purpose, dude. Like, you know that. Your dad admitted that he set the fire. Why are you now shouting at the firefighter? Because your dad was the one that burnt the place down and almost killed you and him. But I also understand from the child's point of view, or the teenager's point of view, that their lives were going really badly. The fire was even worse. Two of them almost died. They promised they were going to get better, and they all survived and became healthy and blah, blah, blah. And then just as everything was starting to maybe get better again, and they probably would have got the money from the insurance if they didn't realise it was a arson case, Bobby turned up and arrested the dad. Well, Athena arrested him, Bobby was there. And so I can understand from the child's point of view, like, you said our lives were going to be better, and now you're actively being one of the people that makes it worse. But, he did burn it down, and it is illegal, especially to then burn it down to get money from it. So Bobby did the right thing, and I'm glad that throughout the episode, we got to see very clear steps of him not getting over what happened, because it's one of those things he's probably never going to fully get over, but started to forgive himself a bit more. Now, we know from the start of the season 1, I can't remember exactly how long it lasted, but he was still going through that trauma and the grief and the book, and he was going to save as many people, and I think, did he say he was going to kill himself? To balance the books and then take himself out. I think something like that. I could be wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But we know that things have moved on, and he's got rid of the book, and now he's with Athena and got not a new family, because that sounds like he's replacing the odd one, but he's got stepkids now that he can be a part of their life and help, and maybe him and Athena might have a baby one day. I don't know if they will or not. I don't know if they want one. I don't know. But yeah, that was a good episode. I liked it. I liked seeing Hen and Chimney and them, and how their relationship was different with Bobby when he started. Obviously, he was new and they were taking bets on him, but he kind of got one over on them by putting a bet in as well and saying, I'm going to take it longer than you lot, because he found lots of problems in things he hadn't done. And then there was the guy whose name I can't remember, who was a bit of a knob because he'd been passed over. Again, I understand why you would be like that, because it is difficult when you go for a promotion and someone that you know, or someone new gets it. When someone you know gets it, it's hard. When someone brand new comes in and gets it, that's even worse. Most of us have probably been in a job or a company where there's some sort of promotion for a manager or a different sort of role, and you go for it, or someone you're close to goes for it, but then they're passed up. And like I say, it's easier when it's someone else that works there, assuming they're good at their job. It's when they work there and they're not that good at their job that they get. It's annoying when they get promotion, but hey. But that's more manageable than just this random stranger they brought from the outside, because it does feel like your progression opportunities then are limited when someone from outside gets the job. But I like the fact that he fired the guy. That guy was a dick, and he was verbally abusive to him. And like they said, Bobby was going to reprimand him, but he talked himself out of a job because he was so rude. And I would probably try and do the same thing. If someone was like that to me, I would reprimand them, and if they carried on, be like, see ya. I don't know. It's always difficult. There's always your chain of command, and there's rules and things to protect employees. So obviously you have to go down the proper routes. But if someone was like that, I would think that something like that would happen. I don't know. But overall, good episode. Not as emotionally traumatizing as I would have expected it to be. Usually the beginning episodes are really awful to watch, and I love Bobby, so I thought if it's going to focus on the family again, that's going to be really tough. But it was just nice to see him get over some of the addiction, and then kind of start to see how he became 118 and became part of the team. That was really nice. This episode felt a little slower to me, but it was actually nice to watch some character stuff, which is what the last episode lacked. But I'm excited to see like one of those ensemble episodes where they're all doing crazy stuff and there's something emotional hit you. And I'm just intrigued to know where this storyline's going to go now Bobby's been suspended, because he didn't disclose what happened in Minnesota. What that means for the rest of the season. Does someone else step up and take over as captain of the 118 for a while? Or does the suspension last for a little bit and then he comes back? I'm intrigued. Now that we're only 2 episodes from the finale, I feel like it's definitely going to play an important part in the last 2 episodes, or particularly the last one as well. But we'll have to wait and see where that goes. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. As always, my name is Scott. I hope you guys are well, taking care of yourselves and staying safe. If you enjoyed the video, please let some comments down below. Let me know what you thought of Bobby's backstory 2.0, and did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? And if you're excited for the next 2 episodes. And like I say, if you're watching on YouTube, please take a look at my Patreon link down below for the full-length reaction to this episode, as well as the next couple in advance. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you all very soon for the next episode of 911 Season 2. Bye guys, stay safe.